Les habla Pocho Salcedo y damos la bienvenida a nuestra audiencia en Latinoamérica y de costa a costa en los Estados Unidos de Norteamérica y Hawái. Hoy vamos a conversar sobre un proyecto esencial para continuar la vida de la civilización humana. En una bóveda diseñada para existir 500 años o más, ubicada cerca del Polo Norte, se contiene una colección mundial que preserva como 15,000 años de la historia de la agricultura en forma de más de 1 millón de paquetes de semillas de plantas de casi 200 lugares distintos de la Tierra. Hoy los invitamos a la bóveda de Svalbard. Estaremos allí y también hablaremos con su creador, un programa imperdible. Comenzamos presentando al padre de este proyecto, conocido como la bóveda de Svalbard. Morgan Carrington Carey Fowler Jr., welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be with you.
Carey, let me ask you a broad question first. You often make the statement that doomsday in agriculture happens every day in increments. What are those things that you're referring to, and what are the resultant implications?
I think that probably every day we lose a little bit of genetic or agricultural diversity in our major food crops. And that's the diversity. Those are the traits that we might need in the future to keep those very crops productive, particularly in a climate changing world. So that means that a farmer can decide not to grow a particular variety again in the future and therefore not save the seeds. And that might be a unique variety that has a unique trait that we'll never see again. But, scientists have also collected a lot of seeds and stored them for conservation purposes in seed banks. And I'm sorry to say we lose diversity in the seed banks as well, just like sometimes a librarian would lose a book in a library.
It seems that the Svalbard Vault, which you were the creator and conceived the idea, many refer you as the father of the project, is an indispensable part of deflecting humanity's food insecurity you just indicated. You see the vault also as a library of life, but you also realize it's an incomplete catalog. How is that gap going to close, if ever?
To be honest, I don't know if it's going to close. It's really going to take, frankly, programs like yours educating people to the importance of closing the gap. And the gap is a gap in two different ways. One is, yes, we do need to, the seed vault functions as a backup, a plan B, if you will, for regular seed banks. So we do need all the seed banks in the world to deposit a copy of what they have in Svalbard for safekeeping, just in case something happens to their seed bank. So that's one gap. And the second gap is there are many crops that are, you might want to say they're minor crops, crops that are very, that might be popular regionally or locally, but are not major crops on the international stage. And for the most part, those crops have had less investment. You don't have so many companies that are involved in that. You don't have so many plant breeders. And that means that collections really haven't been made for those crops very much. And I think we need to be collecting those and conserving those because I believe in the future, some of those minor crops are going to become major, and it's possible that some of the major crops will become minor. So we need to keep all of these options alive for the future.
Hablando esta mañana con Asmul, él habló sobre la bóveda misma. Es un diseño tan utilitario. Al principio pensé que había un equipo de gente ahí en todo momento. No es nada de eso, pero sí es muy efectivo.
Sí, queríamos hacerlo muy simple, así que a veces la gente parece decepcionarse. ¿Sí? Me preguntan cómo es y yo digo, bueno, es un túnel en la montaña.
That's it.
Eso es todo.
Podría contarnos cómo fue el hablar con los gobiernos de todo el mundo para que compartan sus semillas, ya que hay muchas cosas que los gobiernos piensan al hacer algo como esto antes de decidir, y a veces debe tomar mucho tiempo. No puedo imaginar lo que requiere negociar con los gobiernos para que ellos participen.
Sí, sabes, esa observación tuya es una que no mucha gente hace. Es extremadamente importante porque recuerdo cuando abrimos la bóveda global de semillas, incluso poco después, la gente decía, ¿tienes semillas de China? ¿Tienes semillas de Japón? ¿Tienes semillas de...? Ellos nombrarían un país y yo diría no. Oh, ¿y por qué no? Y tuve que pensar un poco en eso y realmente tuve que explicarlo. Porque sabía que había estado hablando por teléfono con cada uno de esos depositantes durante horas, para hablar con ellos sobre por qué esto era importante, por qué iba a funcionar, cuáles eran sus derechos. Quiero decir, responde a todas sus preguntas, pero la sorpresa no fue que algunos países no depositaran el primer día. Hubiera sido una sorpresa gigantesca si todos los países hubieran depositado el primer día. Ahora, eso realmente habría requerido una explicación.
Okay, in closing, reading a little bit about your focus on this project, I see that you were inspired as a young man spending time in your grandma's farm. The crisis of 9/11 brought some new ideas to you, and I'm sure many things in between. What do you wish you knew at the beginning of this journey that you know today that would have made this project and the things that you're working for a lot more productive, will move at a faster speed? What are those things that you were not aware of?
Oh my, I'm not sure you have time for that, but I was a young man. I was headstrong. I thought I could make a meaningful contribution in 2 months. That was 40 years ago. So I made some miscalculations along the way. I tell young people today to be patient. And I tell them that you don't have to be a genius to do something worthwhile or interesting in your life. You just have to keep at it. You have to be persistent. And ideas, such as for the seed vault, they don't float down out of the heavens. They result from just persistent hard work and taking one step after the next. And truly, anyone can do that.
And still wearing to keep this visible and to see it growing, it is amazing. The set of skills necessary to do this. A brilliant idea, but also a brilliant execution. Although it's very painful, I'm sure there have been very difficult times, but it is worth it. And thank you, Kerry, again.
Oh, thank you very much.
The DNA of the news, expert information you can trust. We go beyond the headlines. World-class experts and newsmakers from all continents come to explain vital events in our region and the world. Deeper than the headlines, our epicenter is at the core of the news. We explore current events in a spirited and responsible manner. When producing an episode, we think first of you and the tools you need to be truly informed. The DNA of the news. Truly knowing makes all the difference.
Es posible que llegase a las costas de Terranova.
What matters is the actual impact of the culture that they created.
We will start with a broad question. Reading your book, it will seem that the general idea that we have of contemporary...
The DNA of the news, world presence, world class.